Hey, Kevin here, top 100 financial advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we are here to talk about the stock market. I had a really great Twitter thread that I wanted to share with you guys and discuss about generational wealth, but the Twitters are down today. Don't know what it is, at least as a time of this discussion, Twitter is down. So we don't necessarily get to like pull it up, share the screen, do the whole thing, but I am going to read at least what I had, and then we're going to discuss it here briefly. So I'll be looking at the camera or looking at the computer rather, and discussing it. We're also trying new things. We've got like a light and a new camera. So just trying to be a little more professional, trying to make things a little more aesthetically pleasing, if you will. So give me a second as I pull that up, and then we will finish. So give me just a second, and there we go, because I want to make sure I got my numbers right. All right, so now I may have discussed this in the past, or at least this particular tidbit, but my 2-year-old son, which y'all have seen, as well as my 2-month-old daughter, well, the son right now has more money today than what I had at 18. And at 18, or in 2008, was when I was 18, I had worked for 2 years. I worked at a grocery store, worked at a gas station. I worked all over the summer and had amassed enough to have $2,000 in savings. Now I thought I was rich. It was the most money I had until after college. And I felt great. Like I had, thousands of dollars as a kid is a lot of money, but my son has already surpassed me with 16 years to spare. And that is the power of investing. And his baby sister is right behind him. Now, how do we do that? And why is it important? Well, first, the lesson is it is not expensive, or it doesn't have to be expensive to invest for yourself, but also to invest for generational wealth. With just $80 a month, going back to 2015, and this is just a regular basic index fund. If you invested $80 a month, that's $20 a week, you could have had more than $8,000 over the past 5 years. If you did this from 2010, so 10 years, you're looking at $22,000. And if you did this all the way going back to 2020, we're talking 20 years at this point, that is $80,000, really more than $80,000. That's it. $80 a week, $80,000. Now, yes, it would have took you 20 years, but what is the opposite of that? You could have put that in savings and got what? Nothing really out of that, especially with what savings accounts are paying now. And this is just regular basic index funds. This is not talking about some of the tech stocks, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. You're really adding zeros if you're starting to do that. We're not talking about more relaxed investments, or I would say more typical when we're talking about like Dollar General, Costco. I think Costco would have been like 130 something thousand since 2010, or Walmart. You're taking on more risk there, but that's adding even more money. But the most basic, most vanilla investment, a regular index fund, I'm thinking like stock symbol ITOT or VOO, or mutual funds like VTSMX, that is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund. They're all do the same thing. But you got your choices, but it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be difficult. All you need to do is stick in it for the long term and really consider your options. If you're doing $100 a month, $200 a month, or even beyond that, you are really compounding your wealth. And that is the ease of generational investing. That's important, the importance of generational investing. And that's what I can do for them. You can also do this for yourself, but it's all about the long term. And let's say you're someone that you didn't start investing your 401k when you started, and your 401k can do the exact same thing, or you work for a while, let's say you're in your 50s and you haven't done it. You can still start today, because even if you only did it for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, it's still more money than you not doing it. The time is going to pass anyway. And that is one of the most important things I can impart on you, because some people will say, well, I don't want to invest, or it's going to take me 20 years to get 80,000. It's going to take me 20 years to get 800,000 if you're investing in like an Apple or something like that. Okay, the time is going to pass anyway. I could have had more than $800,000 if my parents had invested in Apple way back in the 1980s, but I don't. And now I'm 31, or going on 31 here in a few weeks. The time is going to pass. So you might as well invest what you can and grow what you can, or you can sit back and look back 20, 30 years from now like, man, I could have done X, Y, and Z. You don't want to be in that category. That's why, one, we talk about this Monday through Friday, every day at 10. It's why I teach classes almost every day. It's why I ask you guys to, hey, share this video, which you should, because I because I really care about you taking care of your wealth. I think it is one of the best things you can do to take care of your physical health and your financial health, to make sure that you have the best options and choices possible. Because at the end of the day, money buys you choices. That's at the end of the day, it buys you choices. Do you have the choice to leave your job and travel the world? Money will answer that question. Unfortunately, when it comes to healthcare, I mean, it shouldn't be this way, but it is. Do you have the money to afford the treatments that you need? Can you move when you want to move? Can you quit your job? Can you take days off unpaid? Money answers those questions, and I do it so that I can have all the choices that I want to have, and that my kids can have those choices too. I could not be the entrepreneur that I am doing stuff like this all the time, or even buying a ring light, buying a camera, as a choice that I have because I've taken care of my money. And I think for a while now, we talked about it when we talked about the article the other day, that we were afraid of investing in the stock market, but also we had the perception that it was too expensive and it wasn't for us. That's not the case anymore. That's why I talk about Public. It's why I talk about Fidelity. It's why I talk about Cash App. It's, I don't talk about Robinhood as much, but you can do it there too. It doesn't have to cost you a lot. It doesn't have to be that confusing. And it's something that can be very easy and very simple. Just the basic. And now the numbers I gave you were just the basic set it and forget it index funds, very diversified. Comparatively, they're very low risk because you're spreading your risk out by more than 500 companies. Not everybody has to invest in individual stocks. Those of us who do, one, you don't have to just pick and choose. You can do both. I do both. My kids do both, but you get to pick and choose. So it's your opportunity right now to start investing and start growing your money. One way that you can do that is making sure, Hey there. One way that you can do that is make sure that you check out the Investors Toolkit. He's just, just want to wave right there. One way that you can do that is check out the Investors Toolkit. And make sure that you share this video, because I want to share this knowledge and make sure that you have the opportunities that he has and that I have and that your future generations have. The money that you are saving, investing now can make headlines and waves and make his life way easier than what mine was. And mine wasn't, a terrible life, but it could have been a whole lot easier if I had $800,000 30 years ago or even 10 years ago. Life could have been a lot different. And that's why I want to give him the opportunity. In addition to the opportunity, also give education, which is why I expose him to things like this. All right, that is it for me, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Say bye.